welcome to Keto on the Couch episode, or Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 195.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, welcome. If you're new here, say hi down below.
Now, here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch, because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it. Are we just a green screen, or are we I can't, because I don't see us.
No.
Always throws me off.
We're fine. You want to see that? That's
what I'm looking for.
Okay, can I make it so that you can't see the comments, though?
I promise I will not even answer a comment. I'm not going to look at them. This is your Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Your Christmas.
Almost happy birthday.
Your Christmas gift is I'm not going to look at any comments. I'm just going to wait till you put it up today.
Thank you.
That's it.
So welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. If you are new here, Keto Beyond the Couch is all about subscribers.
Yes,
we love to celebrate wins, answer questions, comments, things like that. So if you have a question, hold it off till the end in the chat. We're going to kind of not pay attention too much to the chat as we go along. If something kind of jumps out at me, I'll usually answer it. The last 10 to 15 minutes, we kind of go into the chat. We're going to go through our normal, answering questions and comments from the last week.
I'm not looking at Chris Bear.
And then, after that, if you have a question based on whatever we're talking about, you can use that super chat function down below. That will really highlight our screen. It also helps out the channel. I do want to say, since you mentioned Chris.
Yes.
This stuff here makes me feel so fancy.
I'm so fancy.
I feel like I'm going to a med spa.
I absolutely...
It's like aromatherapy.
Find it so beautiful. I think that is a beautiful present.
It is.
For people. It's a gorgeous color. I mean, I just like it. I think it's just beautiful.
So, I just saw, somebody said, Care Bear said, I love your mugs.
Thank you.
We have a slight infatuation with Sesame Street, and now that Peyton is here,
that's it.
Even a higher one. We went to Universal Studios I saw him in the chat, Anthony DiPetrillo on Saturday, and then we had a hotel, so Sunday we woke up, we went to Aquatica for a little while, and then it was so dead, literally... As fast as you can climb the stairs, that's how fast you got online. There was literally not one person waiting online at the top.
Right.
And so we literally did every water ride by 11 o'clock, climbed over 30 flights of steps, and walked 4 miles.
Yeah.
So we decided,
let's
go to SeaWorld because they have Sesame Street.
Yeah. Well, and they had really decorated for the holidays. It was odd. Aquatica had no decoration. I'm like, am I missing something? I mean, I know it's a water park and maybe they're expecting they'll have less people visiting during this time of the year, but I was like, you can't throw up a Christmas ball or something? I don't know, a tree?
Well, they made up for it at SeaWorld.
They sure did. It was amazing. I think that the Sesame Street parade may have been even better than the Macy's Day Parade at Universal Studios. But maybe it's just because it was cute overload.
It was Sesame Street.
It was super cute overload.
I do want to say thank you to everybody who has sent us congratulations.
Yes.
To the baby. A lot of people have asked, when are they going to meet the baby? That's up to Mom and Dad.
Yeah,
Mom and Dad have asked us to keep Peyton's picture off right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some point...
So stinking hard.
They will give us a picture or allow us to bring her on camera. But for right now, we are respecting Mom and Dad's wishes. But we went up to Universal. We dropped off our RV at their house because Oma is going to go live with them for a few days.
Yes, I am.
She's going to go live with them, help them acclimate to parenthood. John Paul's got to get back to work. So we dropped off the RV. It was supposed to be 10 minutes in and out. Turned into 2.5 hours.
I know that this is going to be a hard week for John Paul. I'm sure this is that time when you have to go back to work and you're thinking it would be really awesome if I was just independently wealthy right now. I could just stay home and get all of the baby snuggles.
Oh, Bob McGrath from Sesame Street died today.
Oh my goodness. What? I love him. Oh my gracious. That makes me so sad. But what a legacy.
Yeah.
What an absolute legacy. The fact that I can say, like, I learned to read. My kids learned, so much from Sesame Street. Now we're, a new generation is going to learn from Sesame Street. Like, I just love it so much.
Yeah. So,
Wow, so sorry to hear that.
we kind of threw me off.
Yes.
Yeah. So we dropped off the RV. Rachel's going to be going up. So just to let anybody know, this week we've got some pre-recorded videos. Thursday's live is probably going to be very interesting because we're probably going to do like a remote, like Rachel on one, me on the other, almost like we're interviewing.
I'll be the guest.
So that is the plan. I'll probably do a couple of recipe videos without Rachel this week, just so that because there's things we still want to do, but it's also important to be there for the kids and help them out.
Now, I didn't read this at all. But I think that maybe Denise's grandson Logan is having a birthday this week and wants to sing happy birthday. I mean, I just feel like it's coming. Like, I don't know where I'm coming up with that idea because I wouldn't read any of the chat after I said I wouldn't. Okay, but Logan has a birthday this week.
So does somebody else.
I know, so do you.
Yeah.
But I'm not singing to you yet.
Okay.
You get it later.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Logan. Happy birthday to you and many more.
So anyway, back to the baby real quick before we get into Keto Beyond the Couch. A bunch of people have said that we put up a picture of you.
But no Opa picture?
Which actually wasn't really the first time you held the baby. Did you hold the baby?
No, that was the first time.
That was the first time.
That was the first time.
So here's a picture of me when I first held
There's Opa getting the first huggy hug. Look at that face. You look a little bit like I may just run out of here with the baby. You look a little suspicious, like, the parents are distracted. I'm just going to leave. It was funny. We were packing up. And I just happened to be holding her when we were going to Universal. And it was like, goodbye, everybody. And I was like, going to leave. And Michelle and John's like, wait, whoa, where's the baby?
I do want to say, these mugs are really cool. And one of the things, we get 50% off buying merchandise.
Yeah, we're super cheap.
So, like, actually, I think we paid like $10 for these mugs.
Oh, yeah.
They're really cool, but they are not very functional. Like,
because they got like a little mouth.
There's like this giant lip on the top.
It's just making me
they look really cool.
It's making me like drink slower, which is probably good. And I gotta say, this is probably my favorite Christmas shirt you've gotten. Like, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
I love this.
I love that. I as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's Joe. You know where I got it? Tractor Supply. Go figure. Tractor Supply for all of your Christmas wear.
Let's jump. Oh. Does anybody want to know what the new Keto Chef flavor is?
You ain't gonna tell them. Not you. Oh.
No.
We're just messing up. You're just messing.
Okay, ready? Let's jump into Keto Beyond the Couch. First thing we have is our Keto College Adjunct Professor of the Week. This was an inspirational post. And it is from Dawn.
Hey, Dawn.
Said, there will always be someone who can't see your worth. Don't let it be you.
Amen to that. Oh, my gracious. I think about that sometimes, how long it took me to decide to be my own friend. Why? Why are we delaying? We are going to be with us for the longest that we are going to be with anybody, right? I mean, it's us. It's you and me and me.
Right.
And you and you. So we might as well be our own friend.
Yeah.
Be your cheerleader. Be your biggest advocate. I love that.
Okay, we're going to jump into the subscriber of the weeks. These were posts that we found either on Mighty Networks or on Facebook. I think a couple of them may be labeled as Mighty Networks where they were Facebook or vice versa. But I was doing these this morning because we didn't get home until 8 o'clock last night.
Right.
But these are just posts celebrating wins. We always ask you guys, please share your story. It is so important that you share your story. Share it with pictures. Share wins. If you don't have pictures, that's fine.
Yeah.
But whatever you're going through right now, there's somebody else that's going through it, and they think they're alone. And
yeah.
when you share what you're going through or a win, they'll be like, oh, somebody else gets it. And it helps them get through things. And it could be as simple of, this is the first time in my life I've gone 5 days without sugar.
Well, for me,
That's a win.
It's like, I think about how many times I am looking for like a specific thing. Think about how you Google stuff. And it's like you're looking for a specific concern, right? Like what could help Hashimoto's? What diet could help irritable bowel syndrome? What diet could help with type 2 diabetes? And a lot of people find keto through specific information like that. So when someone's getting started and they're like, well, I heard this is like the newest thing, let's give keto a try, but will it help for this particular concern? Your information becomes that evidence for them.
Yeah. Okay, first one we have is from JJ.
Hey, JJ.
Today is the Christmas festival in...
Don't even attempt it.
I'm not even going to try it.
Louisiana?
This time last year, I had to carry a chair to sit down every couple 100 feet or so. Not this year. I've almost clocked in 4,000 steps without needing to sit yet. Keto has changed my life.
Oh, JJ, I am so thankful that you shared this beautiful picture. And yes, I mean, even traveling is different. Even experiencing this time of year is different. We actually ran into a subscriber yesterday who was at SeaWorld.
I was just going to say that.
And she was sharing, Cindy, hi. She was sharing, you know, how it's different. It's different even like shopping in the grocery store and not having to have a walker to do different things. And just even as you're like weaning off of, you know, mobility devices, the fact that it's like, wow, I can stand for longer. I can walk for longer. It's just such an amazing, amazing thing.
Yeah. Now, speaking of her, yes. I want to mention, because Rachel was like, you know, hey, listen, we just came from a water park. We're walking around. Rachel's like, I don't look my best.
We
so
look
I'm like,
horrible.
It's fine. But she was like, I was kind of afraid to come up to you. Right?
Yeah, well, you said if
right. And that's what I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention, like, if you see us, unless we are in the restroom.
Right.
Feel free to come up and say hello.
And if I'm in the restroom, you can still come up and say hello. It's just Joe that feels that way.
I do feel that way. So please, yeah. Wait until I come out of the restroom.
Wash his hands first.
Okay. Next one is from Charlene.
Hey, Charlene.
I just want to share a major victory for my daughter. She has EDS, ASH heart defect, PCOS, and high blood pressure. She recently had a tumor removed from the pituitary gland in her brain and deals with so many more health issues. She was type 2 diabetic and obese. We started the journey together with intermittent fasting, went keto, then ketovore. She is now reading Dr. Elizabeth Bright's book, Good Fat is Good for Women. And in doing that protocol, last night she texted me a picture of her CGM reading of 92, which she's never achieved before. Since she was young, I worried about her health, which doctors could never fully get a handle on. I always prepared myself to lose her at some too early point.
Wow.
It is scary when you realize you will probably outlive your child. Now in her early 50s, she is healthier than she ever has been. A meat and fat-rich lifestyle change is saving her life. I'm thankful to Dr. Jason Fung, Dr. Ken Berry, and others pioneers in the field.
Oh, wow, Charlene. I totally get that. I mean, it is all about your kids. You just want your kids to be healthy. I think about like every time they even had a sniffle, right? Every time your kid had like an earache, something that small, you were like, it pains you to, you know, for them to be ill, right? And to think, to even fathom that you may outlive your children is just there. It's the heartbreak, the heartache, the fear of all of that. And to see your daughter as she continues to age, getting more and more well each day. Wow. That is amazing. Congratulations to the whole family. What a powerful win.
Let's take a quick fade to black and come back with comments.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby.
Okay, first one we have is from Hazel Fox.
Hey, Hazel Fox. Your comments about diet and cooking and recipes definitely resonate with me. I enjoy cooking. Triple B&E experience has changed the composition of our meals. Definitely more meat. I enjoy your recipes. I don't have a smoker, so appreciate when you show how to make recipes in the oven. Love the inspiration you bring to us. Such a good discussion about lifestyle changes. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you for joining along. And it is our great desire not to have any recipe be prohibitive to someone because they don't have cooking utensils. Now, sometimes it just isn't possible. Like if I'm making a creamy, you need a creamy, right? Like there's nothing that I can do. If we're making a stuffler in a stuffler, you need a stuffler. But we do try to make things like, hey, at least you could use the batter, or at least you could try this in the oven. We do our very, very best.
And some things, listen, I mean, I'm not going to not make a recipe that requires a smoker or a dehydrator or something like that. But we try to give you a variety. I understand that not everybody has a smoker. So if possible, we're always going to tell you another way. There's some things you just can't do.
Yeah.
Whether it be an air fryer or whatever it may be. Like to me, a sous vide is a medical device, as Chris says.
Yeah,
like,
I feel that way too.
I feel that way about all of my gadgets. They're medical devices. Like if there's a way I could write it off, like this is a medical device as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and the thing is like when you needed a CPAP and an oxygen machine and a ride-on scooter and like all of the different devices that we needed for medical, those things aren't cheap. Right. Like you would actually like be better off like having to, buy a smoker. Right. In a lot of cases, it was very expensive for us to be unwell.
Yeah.
For us to be well, it costs money, but man, it's a much happier checkout for me. Yeah. It's much easier for me to put my money down for something that is going to maintain my wellness than something that it's like, I can't believe we've gotten to the point where we need this thing.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we'll make different, foods using different appliances. We'll try to show you different ways. But what we try to do is just give you a variety. So if I give you a recipe that says you have to have a smoker, every recipe won't be that way.
Yeah.
And if possible, we try to tell you how to do different things. That was one of the things that we were doing with the carnivore chips. Like we really wanted to be able to wait until we knew the right temperature in every place to do it so that everybody can do it. And we're actually going to now show also how to do it in a dehydrator because there are a couple of changes with the recipe for a dehydrator.
I gotta tell you,
we do try to do that.
Whether anybody else likes that recipe or not, John Paul and Michelle are freaking loving the carnivore chips. They're like,
keep them made.
we cannot keep them stocked in the house. They're going right out the door as soon as they're finished.
Next one is from Pearl.
Hey, Pearl.
If you really think that 200 episodes would totally meet all the needs, because this is what we said, should we stop at 200 episodes?
Aww.
Meet all the needs of all the people who need keto, then fine. But truthfully, I think that you've just done a drop in the bucket, and there are millions of people, of thousands and millions of people who need encouragement and learning and understanding and acceptance. So long as there's people who need you, and you have the energy to do so, I would ask you continue. Maybe you can reevaluate it when you hit 1,000 videos. But until then, keep on doing what you do, and thank you very much.
Wow, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, now we were never talking about stopping like too crazy ketos. I was just joking with Rachel. Should we stop doing Keto Beyond the Couch? But no, I think it's something that we will do for a while. As far as the number of videos, we have like over 1,300 videos. Like the amount of videos we have is insane.
Right.
It's like sometimes I think that maybe we shouldn't do 5 videos a week because like I see other channels that have like 300 videos that have like skyrocketed past us in subscribership. But at the same point is, I would listen, my goal is still 50,000 subscribers. It's a high goal to have by the end of the year. Maybe if you guys could help us out and start spreading the word, but subscribership has gone dropped by 500%.
Yeah,
but
it's hard this time of year.
But here's what I'm going to say is we make it a point that if you are active in the comments, if you are in the chat during our lives, if you're commenting on Facebook and stuff like that, we know who you are. We know your name. And the more active you are, the more we know you. Like Rachel remembers birthdays and all that kind of stuff. And if we had 1 million subscribers, maybe we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And to us, this has always been about community.
And
it has always been about community and the one. We started a podcast. I still don't understand why we started a podcast because it is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. But the whole idea was if there's one person who doesn't watch YouTube and if we can get to their heads through a podcast,
Yeah.
then maybe we can change their life and subsequently change the entire destiny of their family and their like generations to come.
Right.
And so that's why we do this, right? Next one is from Scattered Thoughts.
Hey, Scattered Thoughts. We only have so much money, so yes, we all move it around according to each of our priorities. It's a good thing when we can see our priorities switching from illness to wellness and or sadness to happiness. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on moving money around. That is such a great statement. Thank you, because that's exactly the way that I feel too. And talk about a victory that I think that we could all pause and take a notice of. I am more joyful during these holiday seasons than I have in past holiday seasons. Do you find that for yourself as well? There were a lot of holidays where, I was in the isolation of my own mind. I was in the isolation of my own depression. And I think that it's very powerful, feels powerful to be able to enjoy the holiday season, to be joyful and to feel energized for it. And instead of it being something where you feel like it's draining or you're worried. Like I was worried. I had very bad social anxiety. And so when someone would invite you to a holiday party, you wanted so much to be there. And yet I was like, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to have the right frame of mind for that party? And it's so different now. I don't feel like I'm trapped inside myself. And I think that that's just a powerful thing.
Yeah. Next one is from Michelle Patrick.
Hey, Michelle.
What do you think about mostly carnivore with a few berries a couple of times a week with a keto chat to replace a meal a few times a week? I'm trying to lose about 30 pounds. I think this is a great idea. I'm going to tell you to just a couple things to be careful of. Number one, please make sure you are eating enough. If you are new to keto, the biggest problem that people have
calorie restriction
is they're restricting the amount that they eat. Don't bring that over here. You should be eating. 2 eggs and 2 slices of bacon is not a good breakfast for anybody. It is not enough food. Nobody should be eating less than 1,600 to 1,800 calories, and even that is probably low, okay? Because we don't look at calories. We look at grams of fat and grams of protein, and the minimum that anybody should be eating, and this is a tiny amount, is 100 grams of protein, 100 grams of fat, and then adjusting the fat from there. But that is the absolute minimum, and people come over here and they start going like using these calculators and they say you should be eating 12 or 1,300 calories a day. That is the worst thing you can do. You will end up slowing your metabolism. Your hair is going to fall out. I don't care how you can eat 500 grams of protein a day. If you're not eating enough fuel, your hair's going to fall out. I'm sorry. It just is because your body is going to prioritize other things.
I need
and
energy.
Your hair is not a priority.
Is your hair a priority?
No, that we learned that a long time ago. Berries, just be careful. It's easy to overdo berries.
Yeah.
Very easy to overdo berries. I love keto chow.
Mm-hmm.
We have at least 4 or 5 keto chows a week. The only thing I always tell people, and Chris is in the chat, he'll tell you the same thing. Keto chow is not really meant to be your only source of food. Okay?
Right.
It's a supplement. I'm running out the door. I don't want to get McDonald's. I don't have time. It's a keto chow or eat frozen chicken nuggets. That's where the keto chow comes into place. But unless you have like dental surgery or something like that, you need to eat meat. Meat, not veggies. Meat. You can have a few veggies if you want. The only thing I'm going to tell you is when you get rid of the word carnivore. You don't want to be a carnivore. You want to be keto or ketovore.
And that's
which
fine.
is perfectly fine. But the reason I say get rid of the word carnivore is because
every time you have a berry, you're going to be like,
I'm
undermining myself.
Some idiot
right.
in some Facebook group is going to be like, get out of our group. You're not really a carnivore because you had a keto chow.
So just
get rid of the label carnivore. You're keto. People ask, what do you eat? We eat a ketogenic lifestyle that is primarily based on meat. We eat 90 to 95% of our food comes from meat. That's what our explanation of our diet is.
Now, I may have glanced and saw somebody talking about the show Wednesday. We just finished that season. It is so good. If
I
you're
think
just
it's
looking
good.
for,
It's-
like,
if
it's
you read-
creepy. I mean, it's Wednesday Addams.
If you read the reviews, it's people love it or people hate it.
But see,
I think it's great.
See, I love Tim Burton. I love Tim Burton movies. I love Tim Burton stuff. And so I wasn't surprised. You know, I was going to watch Wednesday anyway. It's like Star Wars stuff. I'm going to watch Star Wars things no matter what because I love Star Wars. So, but I really enjoyed it. And I think that the lead actress, her last name's Arcadia, right? She is amazing.
She's really good.
She is too young to be that amazing as an actress.
She's really, really good.
Really good.
Next one is from Melanie.
Hey Melanie, I will be finding ways to add movement to my dark December days. So far I did a Rachel-inspired dance in December and squatty potty, 10 to 15 squats every time I use the restroom.
I love this.
I will try to add an additional movement or two every week to have 5 to 10 new creative ideas by the beginning of the new year.
This is awesome.
This is so brilliant because a lot of times people are like, well, we'll see how we're going to change things when it gets cold outside. And then it gets cold outside and people are like, it's cold outside, I can't move. Right. So, I mean, that is not an excuse. You cannot go for the next 5 months without moving. Like, it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be, like, once spring comes here and everything else is thawing out, you won't be ready to enjoy spring. You won't be ready to move in summer. What you're doing right now is going to propel your spring and summer goals. Like, maybe in spring, you're going to want to be, like, taking long walks or going outside to places. But if we're not moving now, you're not going to be at your best for spring and summer. So yeah, finding creative ways. And I love that idea of dancing. So good.
Next, let's take a quick fade to black and we'll come back with the rest of the comments.
Okay. So is Oscar the Grouch your favorite character?
Oscar the Grouch and Cookie Monster.
Really?
Yeah.
I do love the Count. I do love Elmo. I've always loved Elmo. I love Big Bird. I think it's interesting. Big Bird is so upbeat and it's like he's also a leader but almost doesn't realize he's a leader.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about Big Bird I just love.
I saw this. Nicole said my mother-in-law stayed with my husband and I for the first few days to help us acclimate to what a gift.
I hope
my
it
dad
will be a
did that
gift.
for us.
My mom did it for me also.
When John Paul was born, my dad came down for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because my mom was an oncologist. She could not get away from her patients that long. My dad would get a lot of vacation time. He was a clinical chemist. He ran the laboratories that do all our blood work. That's what he did. You know.
Oh yeah, and Grover. That is Grover,
like Grover
too. Yeah, I do love Grover.
But
Super Grover is the best.
My dad came down for like 2 or 3 weeks with both boys, and basically we're like, I got this.
Yeah.
Took the night shifts. He did our laundry. He was just like, it's hard.
It is.
Especially the first one, because you're like, I don't know what to do.
And
then within 2 days, John Paul's like, Mommy.
Saturday, John had a look on his face when he answered the door that was like, I'm not quite sure what day it is, time it is. He had like the hair that was like this. And you see this tiny little person that is just running your life. Like it's an 8-pound boss.
Right.
Basically. And sometimes that boss is disgruntled.
Yeah. So I'm super excited that we can help them out. First one we have is from Katrina.
Hey Katrina, does anyone know why this is happening? My husband is wearing a CGM. He eats breakfast of Joe's yogurt with a scoop of Isopure protein powder in it, and then his glucose plummets from 110 to 78 within 90 minutes, then returning to normal within 2 hours of eating. This happens every time he eats this breakfast.
It's a good thing.
We are not.
For
Doctors,
some reason, we are
nurses,
not doctors, nurses, or health
professionals.
Thank you. For some reason, everybody thinks insulin's a bad thing and you never want to have an insulin spike. If you never have an insulin spike, if you never have an insulin reaction and never release insulin, you're going to be a type 1 diabetic.
Right.
Okay. We need insulin. Insulin has about 90 jobs. Okay. It's working
hard for the money.
It is a growth hormone. It is a precursor hormone. it's not only to lower blood glucose, but without insulin, you're going to be in trouble. You need insulin. What we want to do on keto, eating or on carnivore, eating the proper human diet, is control the amount of times throughout the day you release insulin. And I know people don't like to hear this, but if you go back to watch the video where Dr. Saivis went over our blood results, one of the things he said is Rachel needs to have more insulin reactions, especially in the morning. He was like she was almost shifting so far. She got so fat adapted, her body was just never releasing insulin.
We never need to use insulin.
So every time you put something in your mouth, regardless of what it is, you're going to have an insulin reaction. Mm-hmm. You want to have that insulin reaction. So how do we control it? Eat 2 or 3 meals a day. Don't snack in between the meals. Because if you eat one nut, you're going to have an insulin reaction. And now your body is constantly producing insulin, and you cannot lose weight in the presence of insulin. So you want to limit your insulin reactions to 2 or 3 times a day. All what's happening here is your body is having an insulin reaction. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
You want to have it. Now, if your blood glucose is not returning to normal, that's where we start looking at we have issues. But I would not be worrying about, I wouldn't even be worrying about 110 glucose. I know that that's like, oh my gosh, you're fine. He's doing great. And protein creates an insulin reaction. So does fat to a little bit. And so does, obviously, carbohydrates. So,
yeah.
But whenever you eat, you're going to have an insulin reaction. And you want to have one, okay? Just understand, you want to have an insulin reaction. A lot of people think that we shouldn't have them, but we need them. Next one is from Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
Does eating an animal-based diet, minus the unfortunate incident with cake and fruit yesterday, get worse before it gets better? I've only been trying beef, butter, bacon, and egg out since Tuesday. I still have joint pain from my shoulder down to my fingers, a headache today. I feel like my pulse is racing, face feels flush, and I'm super irritable. I basically feel awful. Be kind in your responses, please, and thank you. Okay, so a couple of things here. I don't know how long you have been eating a proper human diet. Were you eating keto and then went to beef, butter, bacon, and egg? Were you eating the standard American diet and going to beef, butter, bacon, egg? But either way, okay, so if you were eating the standard American diet and then jumped into beef, butter, bacon, egg,
your body is ticked off.
You're going to feel like garbage.
Because you got to detox.
You're going to feel like garbage for a week or 2.
Yeah.
Some of the ways can help you not feel like garbage is making sure, number 1, you get a lot of electrolytes. And number 2, this is the one time and place where I will say exogenous ketones can help. Are they going to alleviate feeling like garbage? No.
No.
You're addicted to sugar and your body is detoxing. If you were eating keto, especially with a lot of keto products, which is one of the reasons we switch over to beef, butter, bacon, egg, there's a good chance you were eating a lot more carbohydrates than you think you were.
Yeah.
And you were going to feel like garbage. It goes away. If you're eating beef, butter, bacon, egg, hopefully you're doing it right and you're not using any outside oils, because all of those outside oils are going to bring inflammation. Make sure you're hydrating enough. That'll cause that kind of stuff.
The other thing that I would say is
the fruit and cake is going to make you feel like shit.
Joseph Stauffer.
It is. Well, it is.
You're going in timeout.
Okay. It is.
So, but if you have gone into beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and you don't, and you've been drinking a lot of caffeine, and if you're trying to, I don't know if you're trying to do like a 1 coffee experience a day suddenly, that is very upsetting to your body.
The pulse racing, the super irritable,
yeah,
all of those things, the headache, sodium.
And anybody that was that did beef, butter, bacon, and egg with us and had to go from multiple coffee experiences a day to a single coffee experience a day, they can tell you that first like 12 days was terrible because you're really detoxing off of coffee too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next one is from Jessica.
Hey, Jessica. 2 questions for those that exercise or work out. First question, what do you eat or drink to fuel your workout and give you energy to do so? Next question, how do you combat the extreme leg foot cramps that come with exercise? I already take 400 milligrams of magnesium before bed at night, and it's not even touching the insane cramps I'm getting.
Okay, what do you need to fuel your workouts? Nothing. Fat fuels your workouts. We did a great interview with Kristen Powell.
Yeah.
If you go and check out from the Hard to Kill Summit 2022, she is an endurance athlete.
She's amazing.
A marathon runner. She's run marathons on glucose, and she's run marathons on keto, and said, like, not only did she feel better on keto, but she actually had her best time having a 0 carbohydrate marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was her best time. Your body doesn't need pre-workout supplements. It doesn't need it. If you give yourself something, you're going to use that as fuel instead of what you're trying to use.
Right.
So, do you have to work out fasted? No, but you don't need a bunch of supplements and stuff. The only thing, if you want to take something, what I would tell you is electrolytes, which will help your cramping. Magnesium will help cramps at night when you're not doing anything, but if you're experiencing leg and foot cramps that are from exercising, you need to check your potassium. A lot of people don't consume enough potassium.
Right.
We need to make sure we're getting enough potassium, and you want to have it in the right ratio with sodium, which is why we're such proponents of Element and Redmond Relight, because you get the right amounts, and since it is a powder that you put in with water, you're getting enough fluid along with it. And that's the key. It's, hydration isn't about just drinking. Hydration is about electrolytes. But if you have too many electrolytes but not enough fluid, you can have a weight gain. If you have too much fluid without enough electrolytes, you can have a weight gain.
I will say that I don't usually like to eat before I work out in the morning. It's pretty early in the morning when I'm doing that, but I do find that I feel a lot better if I go ahead and have electrolytes and then go move my body.
Jackie said these mugs require straws. I make a mess with the regular lip.
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be a disaster for me.
Yeah, and I will use a straw sometimes too.
Next one is from Laura.
Hey Laura, non-skill victory last night. A large regional ballroom event was over at 10 p.m. and a huge group of us, as is tradition for us, trooped over to Rain Sing Kane's Chicken Fingers for a late night snack before the 2-hour drive home. Since N=1 for me shows that I can't do grains or crap oil, I plan to get 2 naked tenders. The boy at the counter said they couldn't do that. They can, but it wasn't worth arguing. I just got an unsweet tea and sat down with everyone who was eating, and I was okay. That is the victory. That is an absolutely powerful victory, because I think sometimes we think, oh no, all right, well, if they can't make accommodations at the restaurant, I don't want things to be weird. People will be upset if I don't eat something with them. So I better just go ahead and go off keto for just this one thing so that I can feel like I'm being social. Beverages make it social also. So just being like, okay, we tried, didn't work. I'm not going to have a big deal. I'm not going to be huffy and puffy with the wait staff. But what I can do is order a drink, cup of coffee, unsweetened tea, and just sit there and enjoy the fellowship, because honestly, obviously that's what it's for.
So when we were in Orlando with Anthony, I really wanted to go to this place, which we're going back up probably next week, whatever, because we want to do all the Christmas stuff. But there's this place in Orlando called Beth's Burgers that has a burger challenge.
Yeah.
It's like 4 patties, cheese, bacon. You have to eat it in 10 minutes, and they will do a modified version if you are a keto or carnivore.
And can't have the bread.
They make you eat more patties. But we really want to do it. We tried to go there, and they were closed for a holiday
having a
party.
holiday party. We're like, oh.
So we ended up going to Denny's. I had one of the best substitute keto meals that I've ever had in a restaurant that's like not like obviously going to a
I
Texas
felt
steak or sale.
actively mad because I was like, why did I not order
So
that?
we're going to Denny's, and one thing, by the way, never get scrambled eggs or omelets in Denny's.
Because they add
Okay,
pancake
they
batter.
add pancake batter. And you want to get thrown off a keto, eat scrambled eggs or omelets in Denny's, unless you specifically tell them you can only use cracked eggs. And you have to, at that point, say, you can only use cracked eggs. I have an allergy to everything else. Okay, you have to tell them you can only use cracked eggs. It's not worth it because then what if they don't and they lie? So Rachel and Anthony get a steak, and I'm like, it's Denny's. Like,
You
what
didn't
kind of
think the
steak is that gonna be?
It's gonna be like top shelf.
So I'm like, I'm getting a burger, and so I just get like this jalapeno burger, and it comes with one patty, and I'm like, well, I gotta throw out the bread, and it comes with fries. So I'm like, can you give me broccoli instead of fries? Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I was
So
like,
we'll give it that.
first of all, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I like where this is going.
So then I'm like, okay, so here's what I want you to do. It had a thing saying like you can make it a double for an extra $1.50. So I'm like, make it a double, but then you know what? I don't even want a double. I want another patty on top of it. How much is that? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care how much it is. We haven't eaten all day. We just walked like 9 miles in the park. So 3 burger patties with the bacon and the jalapenos. And she comes back. She goes, oh, I'm so sorry, but the extra burger patty is $1.50, but it's gonna come with cheese. And I'm like,
Apologize.
you don't know me, right?
Yeah, that's
Usually
actually a
that's
benefit.
extra money.
Yeah.
So I end up with like over a pound burger, like 3 stacks,
Yeah.
bacon, triple layers of cheese, and a side egg for less than $15.
I was so mad.
And broccoli.
I was so frustrated at how good your dinner looked. I ordered a second patty.
And the waitress was so nice. She actually took the extra patty that Rachel wanted and just said that I got 4 patties.
Right. So there's a hack if you're looking. I mean, who would have thought? Plus, I think Denny's has really good coffee. So it was really wonderful. We got seated immediately. It was just a really nice experience. Of course, I mean, the most important thing was we're getting to hang out and chat with Anthony, which was just amazing. But it was also weirdly awesome that he had a great meal out.
Yeah.
You know, it was just so good.
Maitreya said even pre-keto, I had to ask every restaurant because of the celiac.
Yeah.
I've been made sick so many times, so fried eggs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like fried eggs, but if you're going to go out to eat, the safest bet is only eat fried eggs.
Yeah.
Like, avoid scrambled eggs, avoid omelets in pretty much every restaurant because a lot of them do use pancake batter and flour and
It
other
makes
things.
it fluffy and beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you see some of these omelets and you're like,
it lets them save money.
like, this does not look like my omelet at home. How come I can add bacon and stuff to it? Is it like a special cooking technique?
Yep.
It's like, no, it's pancake batter.
Next one's from Nancy.
Hey,
Does
Nancy.
anyone know if the meetup in Florida in January, if you have to go into and buy a ticket for Universal, does it cost anything to attend?
Great question.
Okay, so let's do this. First of all, we're having a meetup in Florida. It is an a la carte adventure.
I love this.
Okay, this was all created by Chris Miller. So on Friday, January 13th, we are going to Universal Studios. We're going to meet at the Universal Globe at 9:30 a.m. On Saturday the 14th, we're going to meet at the Islands of Adventure across from the Hulk ride. And then on Friday or Saturday, we are going to a keto-friendly restaurant from 6 to 8.
Yes.
This is not a conference. This is just, we have a lot of subscribers in Florida, and they were like, hey, would you guys do a meetup? Actually, it was all Chris's idea.
Yes.
I've said all along, if you guys want to arrange a meetup, we will try to get there, okay? If you decide you want to host a conference like Autumn, we will come.
We will come.
Okay? Somebody recently asked, hey, if we have a conference up in Ohio, I think it was actually Maitreya, will you come? Yes.
Yeah.
We will come. There's no cost. We'll fly ourselves there. We will get ourselves there for a conference. But they arranged this meetup. It is just a meetup. People who want to hang out. We love Universal Studios and SeaWorld and all that kind of stuff. So we said, we're going to go. Feel free to join us.
Yeah.
You don't have to join us to go to Universal Studios.
You can just go to
You can just come to dinner.
meetings in the evening.
And the dinner is whatever you want to eat.
So
if you don't want to eat at all, you don't have to eat.
No, you don't. It's just whatever you order. So clearly, like, my bill for eating is going to be way more than probably anybody else's built because, I can put it away. But anyway, so Chris is actually posting in Mighty Networks today and gonna do, make that post frequently because as new people come into the Mighty Networks, they may not have seen the post. So I'm sorry if people see repeat posts. It's just that we want to make sure that we're getting it out there
but
for the
Chris
next.
designed a T-shirt.
Yes, so she's gonna.
We don't make any money off of it. It's just Chris designed it and she put it on Amazon for people who want one.
So she's gonna post that into the Mighty Networks with links if you're interested in also like dressing up and wearing the same shirt as everybody. That's what we're gonna have. But like nothing is mandatory. Everything is a la carte. There is an email address attached to Chris's post. Please go ahead and email her if you're interested in going, just so that we have a head count.
We need a head count for the restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. So the barbecue place, it's a little hole in the wall barbecue place that Rachel and I found when we went up with her mom. And the reason we like it is it's barbecue by the pound. I will never go to a barbecue place that doesn't sell barbecue by the pound.
Right.
Okay?
And it was
not.
And I found it to be very reasonable.
It was very reasonable. Rachel, myself, and her mom went and we ate for less than $50. I think we even showed it in a vlog.
Yeah.
And
it was
had
bodacious barbecue.
leftovers. We brought food home. We had so much food for less than $50.
Yeah,
and
that was
so
nice.
it was really, really good.
Karen, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. We really appreciate that. I don't see that there's
There's no message.
that comes up. So if you have a question, please don't hesitate to ask us.
Okay, next one. Let's take that off. The next one is from Bud.
Hey, Bud. So we missed Keto Palooza because I caught COVID. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bud. The second time this year. Louisville is only about 2.5 hours away, so thinking about making plans for 2023. With that said, I could rationalize a road trip to Austin for KetoCon. We could visit some friends along the way. For those of you who have done both, if you could only choose one to attend, does it matter? I think the Austin event may be bigger with more vendors and like-minded people, but would then Louisville be more personal, making interaction with speakers and other attendees easier, like a large college lecture versus a smaller class. I don't think we can go wrong either way, but would appreciate any positive real-world opinions. Thanks. Bud, yes.
Okay.
You've absolutely unlocked it in your description.
Yeah. So here's the thing. They're both great conferences. We will be at both of them.
Yes.
We're speaking, so far as I know, at both of them. We're actually emceeing in KetoCon, although I don't know what day we're emceeing yet. Which one you should go to is dependent on what you're looking for. If you are looking for community, if you're looking to really meet like-minded people, I'm going to tell you go to Keto Palooza.
Yeah.
Will you meet people at KetoCon?
Yes.
There's 3,000 people at KetoCon.
Right.
So you're going to have to be a little bit more of...
Hi, my name is Rachel.
You're going to have to be very outgoing if you go to KetoCon. I am not an outgoing person.
So Keto Palooza is going to make you be social.
Autumn is going to set up games and events that are going to encourage you.
Right.
It's not going to force you to meet people, but it's going to encourage. Like,
you're going to do it.
Instead of sitting at just in a row of chairs like in an auditorium, you're sitting at a table.
Yeah.
There's a 5K walk. So lots of things to do to meet people. She had a great get to know you event last year where you had to go around and find pieces for a puzzle. So lots of things to encourage community. And then with the speakers, yes, there's a lot more speakers. There's a lot more knowledge at KetoCon. If you want the knowledge, what I would advise you to do is buy the virtual event, which I believe you can get a virtual event from them.
From KetoCon?
From KetoCon. I know that you can tack on a virtual, to rewatch videos later, but find out about that. It may be videos later, but a lot of the information you can see just by going onto YouTube channels from different talks and things like that. Will you be able to meet speakers at KetoCon? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it about 100 times more difficult? Yes. There's 3,000 people there.
Right.
So 300 versus 3,000. So if you can only go to one and you're looking for community, I'm going to tell you to go to Keto Palooza.
Keto Palooza. Now, I will say, if you're interested in going to KetoCon but got sad because the price went away for $100,
Oh, I gotta put that in the description.
then fear not, for we have gotten a coupon code. So if you go,
I don't know how long it's good for.
So you go to the regular KetoCon website, and at checkout, put in the discount code to Crazy Ketos.
And it brings it back to $100.
$100. We don't make any money off of it. It is just for you, trying to help people get the biggest bang for their buck.
And if you want to go to Keto Palooza, we have a discount code. Again, we make zero money. We travel on our own to all these events. 2KK gets you, I think she said $20 off.
That's a good discount.
Okay. Next one, it's the last one, I think, second to last one. It's from Deborah.
Hey, Deborah.
Yesterday was not an epic fail.
I like that.
It was fair. My intentions were good, but my follow-through was fair at best. I'm putting it behind me, and I'm letting it go. Truth is, I need to deal with the stress of hurricane damage home, a job I'm getting frustrated with, a person who is unkind that I have to deal with regularly. I'm telling myself it is okay to be okay sometimes.
Not be okay.
Much of it is out of my control. I can't fix my home. I have to wait for insurance and then contractors and supplies. I have a year or two before retirement. I can't eliminate mean people. What I can do is turn positive support and life-affirming behaviors. I always have choices.
That's so good.
So for today, I'm focusing on being positive in my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. I'm sorry for the long post, but it helps to write.
Deborah, I'm so thankful that you shared this, and you are not alone in this. And this is a very powerful, realization that we all need to remember in moments of stress. A lot of times if I'm pushed, even Joe, we saw this that last week in the most recent vlog where Joe was like, I have to leave my house. I have to leave my house right now because for some weird reason I am snacky while I am anxiously waiting for me to find out what's going on with Peyton. Is she here yet? Just waiting for that birth and not being able to control anything was making him feel snacky. Well, you feel like that also when someone's being mean, you're frustrated at work, something is going on. We all experience that, but we all have the option not to answer that call with food. In fact, sometimes I find myself in a stressful moment, especially if somebody has been unkind, you've had a very bad interaction. Instead of just blindly going to the refrigerator and just feeding that interaction with food, I stop and I say, you are not getting the last word in my mouth. You are not going to win by making me eat something. I am not in control with this bad interaction, but I am control in my response to it. And I am not going to let you hurt my feelings, and then on top of that, make me feel bad about myself for eating something that I didn't want to eat today.
Right.
I think that is a double loss. If I am stressed at work, then I'm sometimes the answer is I need to just go to bed early, even if it's 8 o'clock and I don't think it's reasonable to go to bed yet, instead of just staying up and saying I've been frustrated all day, and so I'm going to reward myself for the frustration with eating a bunch of stuff. That's just going to make me feel bad tomorrow, and I still have to go back to that job that may be stressful.
Yeah. We have one more. It is from Marie.
Hey, Marie.
Will Rachel be mad if Joe gets another gadget?
Nah.
Still, I had to share what came across in an ad on my newsfeed. A mini Brazilian grill appliance.
Oh.
I know he has rotisserie equipment on the Kamado Joe, and this lets you do up to 5 SKUs of meat at a time, though. Only $549 from Home Depot. I haven't looked for better prices elsewhere.
Wow, that's cool.
It's a Brazilian flame portable propane gas grill.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I saw this thing, and I was like, yeah, no.
Seeing
even I have a limit.
Seeing that picanha on a spit, though, makes a very good case for Christmas, I will say, though, right? Because there's something about that rotisserie meat, the Brazilian steakhouses, that is the key to success, right? It's just, there's something about a rotisserie, whether it's rotisserie chicken, I enjoy rotisserie chicken, and that rotisserie beef, oh my goodness. And I'm telling you what we need to make that we still have not made is the rotisserie beef that is encrusted with the Parmesan.
Yeah.
Gotta have it. So stinking good.
Let's jump into some of these comments. Angie said,
Hey.
after the carnivore chip recipe I made in the oven, I'm looking for an electric smoker now to make more at a time.
It's so good.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. So you can do it in a dehydrator. You can get dehydrators pretty cheaply. You just have to do it longer in a dehydrator. I will say that. You have to do it a little bit longer because dehydrators only go up the highest temperature I've ever seen on a dehydrator is 167 degrees. So you're going to cook it a little bit longer. Also, making sure it's nice and thin will really help. But with that being said, if you have the room outside, I'm always going to tell you in a smoker over a dehydrator because you can do a lot more in a smoker. The only thing you're ever going to really dehydrate is you can dehydrate eggs, which we have a video coming out on that. You can dehydrate your meat. You can do fruits and vegetables, but how many fruits and vegetables do we really eat?
Yeah.
You know? So I think you'll get more use out of an electric smoker. You can get electric smokers very cheaply. You can do it in a regular smoker. You're going to have to really be careful of controlling your temperature. It's a little bit harder here in Florida. And if you live in someplace like in Utah during the winter, it's like you can get low temperatures, but I can't get my pellet smoker under 185 degrees. But you can get, if you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, any of those places, the master-built electric smoker, it's not insulated, but it does a good job. You make sure you just rotate the racks top to bottom. But it's a very popular smoker. So popular, if you go onto OfferUp, you will find hundreds of people selling them.
This is the time of year.
Because they buy it and they're like, yeah.
Not for me.
Not for me.
Plus, sometimes people are like changing what they're doing or like maybe upgrading to something. So there's a lot of deals.
That was
on,
our
like,
first smoker.
Barbecue stuff, smokers, like everything. So before you go to Amazon, you may want to check OfferUp or like some of the
buy stuff on
Facebook
OfferUp all the time.
marketplace type of things in your area. You know, if you have like a Trader magazine for appliances and stuff like that, because sometimes you can get like just fantastic deals. If there is like a restaurant warehouse, sometimes, you know, those kind of things, you can get good appliances. You just have to do a little bit of, you know, research and legwork.
Yeah. Becca said, did you see Nilly's video on dehydrating egg whites today? No, I have not seen that. I didn't even know she did that. It's something we've been working on and talking about because of like egg white powder and stuff.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. It's probably cheaper to buy egg white powder.
Right.
That's what I learned.
It's nice to have a backup though.
It's nice to have a backup if you have lots of extra eggs and stuff like that. But when you factor in the cost of eggs and everything else, and the electricity, that's something we never think about. Like, we never think about electricity. But it's cool. It is cool dehydrating eggs, especially if you have a lot. Let's see. Mary said, my life changed the day my sous vide joined the family. Asking Santa for a small electric smoker so I can do my own carnivore
Oh, how
chips.
nice. Yeah, I got to tell you, the sous vide is such an amazing appliance. The fact that it is able to take things like brisket and bring it back alive again, so that if you don't eat all of your brisket in one meal, if you go to try to, you know, reheat it in like your microwave or something like that, it dries it out. And the sous vide really just makes everything come alive, and it cooks a steak like nobody's business.
Chris said, I put a ribeye in a sous vide here at work this morning, took it straight out of the freezer into the water, and hit it with a blowtorch at lunch.
How nice.
That's why, like, sous vide is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing. Like, I could tell you right now, like, if something happened to my Innova oven, I would buy a new one tomorrow. Like, I would turn off the AC in the house for a month to pay for it.
Wow.
It's that important to me.
Going to grandma's house.
Like that sous vide oven would be more... It would be worth replacing that oven and having to deal with Rachel being pissed at me for 30 days.
I would, though.
I know you would. But, I mean, because it's great. Now, if you don't have the oven, I mean, a stick one works great. But I just love that I don't have to put it in water in a bag and everything else. But sous vide to me has always been a game changer because you can't screw it up. No. You can't screw it up.
We try.
Right?
We forget.
You want your meat to be 130 degrees? Throw it in there. Leave it in there for 14 hours if you want. You're not going to overcook it.
Well, and it's just nice that the Innova oven has the sous vide in it.
Yeah.
So it's
like
just doing
Becca
it.
said, I only cook my meat sous vide anymore. I truly love my
Yeah.
Nova oven.
And it's nice that it's like with the Anova, you keep it right in your glass, like the Tupperware type thing, or your lock and lock or whatever. I don't even have to go find a bag and like set up a water bath or anything. It's just like put it in there and use the sous vide.
Okay, so Sharon said, I really like the 5 videos a week, very informative, but I don't really like the daily shorts. Those clog up my YouTube subscription feed.
That's just me.
Well,
Sorry.
Well, but here's the thing. I would actually love feedback on that.
Okay,
So
I can stop that.
don't take this the wrong way. But no, we do daily shorts on Instagram. But a lot of people then message us like, hey, I don't use Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I never open Instagram.
Yeah.
Rachel loves Instagram.
I do love Instagram.
Should we just leave the shorts on Instagram
Yeah, maybe I'll
and
just do it
not
on
put them on
Instagram.
YouTube? Honestly, it's more work for us to convert them over to YouTube.
Yeah, that'll
because
work.
Instagram allows us to use music, and then Rachel has to go voice over everything on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it would honestly, but you guys tell us,
Yeah.
should we just leave them on Instagram, and if you want to see the shorts, put them on there, and then we have occasional shorts on YouTube.
Yeah.
So let us know. Let's see. Donna said, I hope you get the subscribers.
Aw.
I don't know how that number can be reached, but I know you
I
can do it. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being you.
Thanks,
Well,
Donna.
and it's funny, we were gaining like 2,000 to 3,000 subscribers a month, and now we're gaining like 200.
I think this time of year is hard. You know, sometimes if people are like, "Ugh, like changing the way you eat at the holidays can be really hard." Right? Like it's really hard. And sometimes people are like, I don't even want to see things about, investing in my health until the new year. So I think that impacts it a lot.
Lori said, I love your podcast.
Thanks, Lori.
I like to knit, but I can't watch and knit at
Oh,
the same time,
yeah.
so I can listen and knit. You guys,
Thank
we got some good
you.
podcasts coming.
Yes.
We got a bunch pre-recorded because we didn't know what was happening with baby. Amy Berger. We got an interview with Amy Berger. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, she's
It was,
so
so
brilliant.
good.
Isn't she amazing?
We've got a couple of really good keto audits coming. We actually have to do a couple of reschedule because we had a couple that were scheduled for last week and we had to cancel them when the baby came. But some really good stuff. Paleo Barbie, there's a name I haven't seen in a while, said, y'all make my day whenever I watch. I love watching other people who have different content and who truly care about others. It touches my heart.
I love you, girl. You're amazing.
Joanna said, I love Joe's mug. Mom's favorite character was Elmo.
Aw.
Mine was Grover and the Count.
See, I love that. You can't go wrong. What excited me when we were watching the SeaWorld parade was Telly had his own float. And I love Telly too. Just absolutely, he was always kind of interacting with Oscar the Grouch and just always had a good attitude. I just love Telly.
Debbie said, I'm making chicken skin crisps while I decide whether today is the day
I
put
want
out
some
the
of
outside
those.
Christmas lights.
Oh, we have to.
I've got to finish my presentation to school
Caleb
first.
mowed the lawn, and we got some new blow-ups. Oh my gracious. Joe got one with an outhouse. He got one with a turlet, and it's going to be on our front yard.
That's right.
Gracious.
Joanna said, Joe, I made your bone broth. I wasn't sure how it would turn out. It's delicious. I now have to make it
Wow,
regularly.
thank you so much.
Janet said, when I make bacon, I eat a lot and about 3 eggs. That's good.
I am all about the bacon. It's however, he'll say how much bacon you want. How much bacon do you want to make? However much bacon you make, that's how much bacon I want. I'm like Ron Swanson. I think you heard me wrong. I think you thought I said I want a lot of bacon and eggs. I want all of the bacon and eggs.
Blue Dove said, I so get it, Rachel. You were a gift to those of us who struggle with anxiety and depression.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. It's just, we have to be proactive. We have to be very proactive. We have to encourage one another because it's not like you can, it's just sometimes remembering something like a food. Sometimes you'll watch a holiday movie. And in the past, it was I couldn't watch this holiday movie without a bunch of popcorn in my lap. And so as soon as, you've gone without popcorn the whole year. You see this holiday movie come on and all of a sudden you're like, I can smell popcorn. I can taste it in my mouth. Your memory goes back. Well, sometimes, in the past, the holidays were very difficult for me emotionally. And you will see something like a poinsettia. And all of a sudden you can for a moment be drawn back to like, oh yeah, like the feelings are there. So I have to be very proactive about getting in movement, getting in some sunlight, getting good rest, and not like going back to even the nostalgia of being sad. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like just the nostalgia of that even.
Yeah. So Chris was talking about Wednesday. And then somebody else, I lost it. Somebody else wanted to know any other good things to watch. So one of the things that it was Betsy. Any other Netflix suggestions? So one show, I watched a half an episode once, and then something happened, life got busy, and we stopped watching it, and I really want to watch it because I love Kevin Costner, is Yellowstone.
Okay.
And of course, now they've got the one place one thing I don't have, because we don't have TV, like, is Peacock.
Oh, it's
and
another
that's where
streaming
it is.
service.
However, I did find, for those of you who have an American Express card, American Express has like those rewards things, or like the specials. Like you can do this, you get money back and stuff like that. I looked online last night, and American Express, if you have an American Express card, if you go sign up for Peacock for $4.99 a month, for 3 months and pay for it with your American Express will give you back for the $4.99.
Right.
So you can basically get Peacock for 3 months for free. Just make sure you cancel it at the end of 3 months. So that's what I'm going to do. And I figure in 3 months, I should be able to watch all of the episodes of So get ready, because that's what you're going to be watching.
Get my cowboy hat.
Yes, that's what we're going to watch.
We're going to be watching Yellowstone.
We have 3 months to finish all of Yellowstone.
Dun,
so
dun,
that
dun,
I don't
dun,
have to
dun,
pay
dun, dun, dun.
for Peacock. Okay, Chris. I think it's funny how old the actors are on Wednesday. Jenna Ortega and the blonde roommate are 20 years old.
They're incredible. Like so I knew Jenna is her first name. There's no way she should be this good at her craft that young. Like it absolutely.
To me, she shouldn't look like that at 20 years old.
She reminds me
of 21 Jump Street, right? They were all like in their mid-20s.
Johnny Depp, I know. So yeah, she was just absolutely amazing. Her dancing is the best. Like Wednesday dancing. I see that on Instagram. A lot of people are taking shorts out of that and being like, I dance like Wednesday Addams, and I definitely like with the scary look on her face. I love it. So Patrick says, will you guys be going live tomorrow? Joe and I are birthday buddies, and I've waited all year
Where are you looking?
to get Rachel to sing happy birthday to us.
I'm thinking about it.
You're thinking
I'm
about
thinking
it?
about going live tomorrow.
Well, I don't want to take a chance on missing Patrick.
We're doing something because it's my birthday too.
I know, but we might miss Patrick, so we're going to sing to Patrick right now.
Okay.
Give me a high five. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Patrick. Happy birthday to you and many more.
Teresa said, I watched your video on making the turkey soup and cooking the bones till they were soft. I'm not very proficient with my Instant Pot, but it doesn't let me set it for 3 hours. Finally got it. The dog loves the bones.
I'm so glad that
I don't know how
it.
to use 90% of the settings on my Instant Pot either, so don't
Teresa,
feel bad.
the very hardest thing.
Just make sure you're cooking those bones all the way so they're nice and soft and you can crush them before you give them to a dog.
The very hardest thing for me is sharing the bones with the dog. That I don't want to. I don't want to share the bones. I want to eat all of them. I want to put some Redmond seasoned salt, that like chili lime or the barbecue right after all of them come out of the Instant Pot. I just want to eat it on my own.
Blue Dove said, I usually say I'm meat heavy keto.
There you go.
Love it.
I love that.
Jackie said, I use keto to try to get more fat and calories in because I don't like to have breakfast and most times I only eat once a day. That is where I think it is good.
Great idea.
I don't want to say get upset, but I get worried when I see people going, I want to lose weight, so I'm just going to do keto chop for 3 meals a day. Please don't do that.
I don't want people to be like, I'm going to treat keto chow like I used to, have a Slim Fast shake. Remember that? Those were the days. So it's never a case of like we're trying to dissuade somebody from eating keto chow. We love keto chow, but it's just that as long as you're eating it because it's a convenience food, you're trying to get more fat in, a place of good motivation. To me, it's not just about the choices we make. It's also about the motivation behind the choices we make. You know, I have to like, you know, even if it's like I'm working out, am I working out because I'm like super critical of myself and I want to go work out, or I'm going to go work out because I'm like, I want to get stronger each day.
Right.
See, I like the difference. It's just motivation makes a lot of, you know, there's a lot of importance to me on motivation.
Paleo Barbie said, I love Wednesday. We have one episode left. We watched the last one last night.
Yeah.
We said it's like Harry Potter mixed with Nancy Drew and some Adam Smith. I would
So
agree.
true.
That is a really good assessment.
Very, very true.
Blue
Very
Dove said,
true.
yes, Wednesday's so good. C and I have been watching it while we eat dinner together. So hard to believe that the little cutie from Stuck in the Middle is perfect in the role.
Oh, is she from Stuck in the Middle? I'll have to check. I didn't realize that.
So Sarah said, you had to mention dental work. We had a tooth break last
Oh,
night.
no.
They fitted me in later today.
I'm so
Guys,
sorry.
who wants to spend money on teeth at Christmas time? Hope everyone has a great Monday.
Oh,
I'm so
Sarah,
sorry.
I'm so sorry. That's awful. We know how bad frustrating that is.
Yeah. Serena said maple waffle was so good, but I was certain it was peppermint, so I was just tiny bit disappointed.
It's funny, right? Because it is a guess. It's out at the holiday season. I do think it's like a holiday flavor. It fits right in, you know, with the holidays. But it is just kind of like, is it going to be peppermint? Like I wasn't sure either.
Let's see. Betsy said, I wasn't allowed to watch TV, so I don't know anything about Sesame Street.
Well, it's not too late to start watching now. There's like, I mean, you're probably 50 years behind the, like, I don't know how long, Sesame Street's been on for a really long time, but like, but so you've got plenty, if you're talking about binge watching a show, there's plenty of those episodes to watch.
Alan said, my sleep insulin's 71, my weight is 83. You must be talking about your glucose, because we can't, number one, there's no way to measure your insulin at home. And that would be a really high insulin if your insulin was 71.
Yeah.
Juju said, by kid 2 and 3, all C-sections, I had myself all prepped and planned everything in arm's reach.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Like, I mean, I can remember my best friend had a C-section and she was just like, I can't, like, I cannot move.
Danita said, I brought up Sesame Street to my preschoolers. They had no idea what I was talking about. So sad. They all know about Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol, and Bluey.
Yeah, right. Well, that was the thing. I told Joe, I said, we need to start now, like, looking at some of the infant shows so that we're up on the storylines of these cartoons, because I don't want to be behind. I've never watched an episode of Bluey. So, like, I need to figure out, like, I need to go watch this because clearly it's popular and I want to be cool with my granddaughter, right? I want us to be able to chat about, like, you know, possibly her favorite show.
Emmy said, November, December is the busiest month for me. My eating schedule has been so crazy. I can feel that I'm not getting enough calories because I've been feeling tired lately.
Well, and sometimes you just think about it, especially if you live in a winter state, doing stuff takes more effort. You go for a walk in the summer, you know, or if it's like 70 degrees outside and then you try to like go for a walk and it's 20 degrees with snow on the ground, it's harder. It expends more energy to get the same walk done, right? Like, I mean, it feels like it's draining.
Radical Geek Maitreya said, I feel great cycling and endurance athlete on keto. For super long rides, I need to pound down the electrolytes, especially salt.
I take her advice. That woman has been an endurance athlete. She knows what she's talking about. And she doesn't go for small bike rides.
Mary said, when we did our big road trip, we had no problem staying keto. Sides of bacon, sides of fried eggs, sides of sausage were our favorite breakfast.
Yeah, and that's nice. And usually they're pretty inexpensive. Like I've had like a breakfast where you've ordered a breakfast where it's just like, you know, egg, sausage, and like a hash browns. And if you just order the a la carte, you could get more sausage and eggs for less money going the side dish route than like trying to make it work with an existing breakfast that they have on their menu. It's kind of funny how that works sometimes.
Juju said, Joe, I'm having a conference of 5 people. Some are kids. December 17th might be my birthday. We're meeting at Texas Day, Brazil. Even pay for Rachel's dinner.
Okay, it might just be my birthday. I love that idea. That'd be cool.
Anything else before we go? Nancy said they have snow.
Oh.
Chicks are trying to figure it out.
Oh, poor babies. Oh my goodness. That's got to be confusing, right?
Becca said, I really wish I could tuck my husband in and go to KetoCom with me. If nothing else, he needs the information. His current favorite meal is hamburger helper.
I totally get it. I mean, that is hard. If there is any way that he can just go with you, not for the conference, but just to explore the city and just have a good time, that would be a good thing too. Are we getting close to the low carb?
So I just saw, Lynn wants to know, does anybody know what speaker talks are on the low carb cruise? I don't know what the talks are, but I can tell you who is coming. Cindy, ask Nurse Cindy, Benazati, Chris
Fair from Keto
Dr.
Chow.
Barry, Nisha, Dr. Boz, Bronson and Natalie, Fred Hahn, Kim Howerton, Autumn, Debbie Potts, us, Dr. Ron Rigby, Keto Savage, and Dr. Westman.
Pretty amazing.
Pretty good lineup there.
And
there are like over 350 people, I think, at this point.
Yes. But then on top of that, you have a cruise. Like, I mean, it's pretty awesome. There's lots of amazing speakers, and also you have a cruise.
You have a cruise.
Like, you get to see stuff.
And Rachel's going scuba diving.
I'm going to go scuba diving. I think we should do it. Only 181 days till the cruise. Till me and Jackie get our behinds inside of a bikini and be like, what? What you gonna say? Yes, I'm wearing a bikini. We making it happen.
Dutchie said they went to a Brazilian steakhouse for the first time this weekend. It is
amazing. If you're looking for like a fancy pants dinner option, I understand it's expensive, but if you've ever gone to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or some Morton's, some kind of fancy steakhouse for a special occasion, consider finding a local, Brazilian steakhouse around you. It may not be a Texas de Brazil. It could be a Rodizio. It could be like there's just a specialty one that is just a Brazilian steakhouse that's not affiliated, like with a chain restaurant. Try it. I think you're going to love it.
And here's my suggestion. Call them. Many of them, at least 3 or 4 days a week, do lunch.
Yes.
Lunch is usually half price.
Yeah. And
or at least like 2/3 of the price. Like I can tell you, like our Texas de Brazil dinner is like just over $50 a person. Lunch is like $30.
Yeah.
So it's just a suggestion. We mostly do lunch because it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
A couple more before we go. Cher said, Joe, I've learned a ton from watching your cooking videos.
Aw,
Thank you
thanks,
so much.
Cher.
Kay Frankel said, Rachel's positivity is so motivating. I love when the short pops up and inspires me. Please don't take them off of YouTube.
Oh, well, thank you.
So, yeah, we'll make our decision. It's just, I know it does fill up the feed. We're going to go.
They'll definitely be on Instagram.
They'll always be on Instagram, but we'll see how it goes. Joe wants to know, what is the barbecue place we're meeting at for Orlando next? She's going to Orlando next week. It's Bodacious Barbecue. So, yeah, they have... it's a small little hole in the wall. It's like in a strip plaza, but it's pretty good.
It's got a patio, and we are going to pay to rent the back patio so that we have plenty of like seating space for everybody.
Yeah. So, okay, we are going to get off, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who like Keto Chow, just to let you know, tomorrow we have a special Keto Chow video coming out. You can figure out what that is. It's public that something is happening.
Something is happening.
Something is happening. So that will come out tomorrow. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that little bell button so that you're notified when it comes out. We have our hot dog video coming out. All of our channel supporters have gotten to see it for the last few days. We have a coffee talk coming out. We're going to be doing a live somehow virtually. Excited about that one.
Excited.
Everybody have a great day.
We love you.
Bye.